Hello again. Welcome back to your 5-minute devotional stop with me, Amy Phillips. I'm on a journey moving from fear to faith, and I hope you'll join me for Just Believe. Hello, friends. So I'm back to contemplating the craziness and so unlike the world, upside-down kingdom of God. I'm sure you know this, but let's just remind ourselves again. God's values, the way he looks at things, and especially people, is so unlike what the world does. In fact, most of the time, it's the polar opposite. The world is looking for the brightest, the wealthiest, the most intelligent, the most this or that for anything in the world. But God does not choose us because of those attributes. He never chooses us because we earned it, as if what we have in life is anything except for what he's given to us. He chooses us based on his mercy and his compassion. He chooses us based on the blood and sacrifice of his son for us. Let's just take a moment to look at God's upside downness. So this week I was preparing to teach about hearing God's voice, and I read the key text that I use, and it's from John 10. It says, "The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out." So in this passage, Jesus is talking of himself as the shepherd. And who are the sheep? The stupid, bumbling, getting lost sheep. Right, that's us. Sheep get lost. They don't seem to think about much of anything, but there is one thing that sheep do know, and that's their shepherd's voice. Do you know that 2 shepherds can put their herds together and then one call their sheep and they will separate? They've got one thing right. They know who their master is. Jesus literally compares us to sheep. But is that a bad thing? So I was fresh off thinking about that when I read through Exodus 20. Now, in the story, the Israelites have left Egypt after 400 years of slavery. Moses has led them through the Red Sea. They've been eating bread that shows up in the desert. And Moses goes up the mountain to meet with God. And he tells the people, "Wait with Aaron while I meet with the Lord." Now, keep in mind all the miracles they've just experienced. And then in front of them, they see the cloud descend upon the mountain. There is thunder, there's lightning. Okay, but 6 weeks goes by, and they just freak out. They seemingly can't wait any longer. "Aaron, we don't know what happened to this guy, Moses. Maybe he's dead, so let's just make the most of things. Let's make a calf to worship for bringing us out of Egypt." Now, I couldn't believe, I felt a little anger in my heart towards this injustice when I was reading it this time. Literally, the cloud is on the mountain with Moses, and they made a calf out of their gold. What in the world? But the note in my Bible says this: why were the children of Israel chosen? There is no good answer except that God says he will have mercy on whom he will have mercy. God reserves the right to choose whomever he wants. But Exodus makes one thing clear. The Israelites were not chosen because of their bravery or impressiveness or even faithfulness. Their selection was an act of God's pure grace. No one else can take credit. As I read that, I thought of the description of sheep. Stupid, bumbling, getting lost sheep. If the Israelites had been chosen because of their bravery or what strong warriors they were, then that would make sense to us as humans, because we're always looking for the strongest, the loudest, the most honorable people to lead and to guide. But God did not choose based on that. Not because of our strength, our bravery, because there, even at its best that a person could offer, it still has nothing to God because he's the one who made every one of us. No one is better than another. All have sinned and fall short of the glory. So let me ask you, though, if you were going to choose a race of people to represent you, who would you choose? Probably a strong, brave, honorable people, right? I kept thinking of like the Wakandan warriors from the Marvel movies, who are righteous, integrous, strong, mighty people. Not these sheep people who can't even wait for a few weeks when God is right in front of them. But here's the upside downness of the kingdom of God. It says in 1 Corinthians 1:27, "But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong." This is his crazy plan, his upside down kingdom. God took away at every turn our ability to earn his mercy or his compassion. He took away our view of what makes a person good or worthy. He has made us worthy only by his Son and his mercy. They couldn't earn it by being this great warrior, honorable race. He made it so it would always be about his grace. The upside down kingdom where you lose to gain and you die to live. You don't have to be this all-star person earning the right to know God and to be found worthy of his kingdom. That's a worldly perspective. Instead, we're just sheep with the most kind, most loving, most protective shepherd who calls us to himself and keeps us safe. He has chosen us not because we're at the top of the food chain or because we can protect ourselves, but instead we have the most need of him, and that's a beautiful thing. The only time Jesus ever got angry was at the religious people who thought they had it all together and figured out. He never was mad at the one who came with humility. What a joy that we can take off masks, stop trying to convince anyone that we are so great. We actually only need to be sheep, chosen by God to do miraculous things. Crazy. Do not fear, sheep. You have a shepherd who loves you. Just believe. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you feel encouraged and strengthened. If you want to connect with me, you can find me at amybphillips.com. See you next time.